Hi everyone, Paul Morbid here, Morbid Team Entertainment. I'm here in this video with my very loved Single-8 Fujica ZC-1000. I've got at least a couple of issues here. Alright, and before I get started into them, especially one in which I have to dismantle the covering, at least, I would suggest that if you're going to be viewing the dismantling video in the future, to make sure you view it first and just do not attempt to dismantle this camera, okay? Or even the body. Do send it off to a technician who's knowledgeable in the ZC-1000, because cosmetically, you're essentially not going to get it back, some parts of it, to way it was from when it came from the factory. So just to let you know that there's a lot of procedure going on in here, okay? So that is just a definite warning with this camera. It's a great camera, but there are sometimes these cameras are really old now, and they're going to have some issues with them. And you're going to need to send them off to someone who really knows what's going on and who take the time. Even me, I'm busy in my life, and I've really got to take the time with this camera. I love it. I really, really do. It's probably my favorite besides the Z800. Okay? So, that's just to let you know. One big factor, if you're going to get way down here, is this, the ground glass, all right? And repositioning that. You can work into a real problem and time-consuming issue with this thing. And also, you don't want to get it chipped either. That can be an issue, all right? Another thing are these sheets of rubber right here. Once they're removed, and if they don't tear, just keep in mind, if you're a perfectionist, you have to look for this stuff if you want the same look, that type of thing, okay? So those are some key points there. If you don't care and you still want some of the non-slick type of rubber to go back on there, and you can find something that matches pretty close, then don't worry about it and put it on there. Now, this ring is known as a trim ring. Alright, now sometimes you may be surprised to find out that it's only held on with glue, so it may pop off. And as I've said before, you can use some good fairly strong contact cement and put it back on there. Just clean the old residue off first, and then put the glue on it, and just let it sit a while till it dries. Make sure you do not use shoe glue, because that stuff is so strong it's going to take like about a week to dry. It has horrible fumes to it that could affect the ground glass here, okay? In addition, when you go to repair the camera or have the camera repaired, it takes gasoline to remove that glue off. So it's going to cause more harm than good. There are parts at times that have to be removed, and even though when you removed it at times with some parts, like this emblem right here behind it, there's a screw. And removal of these parts, pieces, and stuff like that, they're delicate matters. And this is highly to be considered. You may think that just for removing 3 micro mini Phillips screws and removing this plate, it seems simple, but there's nothing up under here that's going to change the course of history. So as you can see, you've got another plate right here. okay, and you got to go up under this. So let the professional technician handle this. It's the best way to do it. You see, here if I go up here at the photometer adjustment, which is this right here, and no matter where I make an adjustment here, I've got the batteries out, okay, no matter where I turn that or make an adjustment right there, and then I take a look at the color bars, you know, I press film. I can even do this with my thumbnail, see there, and it moves. Have film on the camera, not have film on the camera, make a test with the color bars over here, and it bottoms out to negative completely every time. So maybe the shutter and this have something going on at the same time. It would kind of make sense, right? Okay, I'm going to show you how this bottoms out on the color bars. And anywhere I'm filming, let me get this in view here for you as much as I can. See there? Bottoms right out to negative. Red indication up top, right there. Okay, so check it out. I've got a new issue. Okay, they keep piling up. Here, on the spindles, okay, they're losing torque. So, if I press the shutter button, all right, look at my fingers. Light but firm. Here, okay, I've got the marker test right here. Okay, a Single-8 cartridge. Okay, it was just recently, the claw was working just fine, or the torque was working just fine. Put this in here, lock it up, and let's take a look at the little window over here. Watch the white dot. As we know, I'll press the shutter button. See, it tried to move. So we go in here, we're going to take a look at the cartridge, and of course it didn't go anywhere. The marker's still there. Press the shutter button again. Another torque test. Slipping here. Definitely slipping here. Okay. I'm just going to drop it in right here. I'll lock it up. Window didn't turn. Take my word for it. Open it up. There you are. So, that's another problem. Okay. Just going to try a different cartridge. A different test cartridge that I have. Alright. The marker test right there. Alright. And drop it in. Okay. This time I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see it. And we're going to take a look right here inside the window, watch the white dot. Let's see if it turns. And there we go. Open the camera up. Remove the cartridge. And there you go, it's gone. With the exception of a small bit, which I believe is, that's an old line that I have in there. I have many lines on these test cartridges. Let's do that again. Turn it, and watch the white dot right up there. Okay. Just for good measure. See? It's gone. And for anyone with a Fujica Single-8 ZC-1000 or any other Single-8 camera where you have this type of issue, before you send it off for an expensive repair, best to check the inside of the cartridge. They need to be re-lubed from time to time, and although this is plastic, what you have to use is this. If you haven't heard me go on about it before, let me move my camera out of the way. You have to use white lithium grease number 2. Otherwise, if you use any other type of grease, it's going to eat and disintegrate the inside of the cartridge, make it soft. Designed for use in rolling and sliding parts, precision machine tool, textile machinery, universal grinder, plastic gear, and moving parts and toys. So there you have it. As I've said time and time again on my channel, this is the grease to use with plastic gears and parts. And this does have rolling parts inside. It's all plastic, with the exception of the metal piece up inside. And obviously, there are more tests that have to be made with a photometer adjustment. So I've got to get down in there and see what problem goes with another. As far as I'm concerned, 1 + 1 = 2. Meaning, one issue leads to another, and that very well could be what's it. But hopefully it's just going to be simple. Don't we all hope for that? So that's it for users of the Fujica ZC-1000 Single-8 camera. Strongly suggest you do not dismantle this camera yourself to go to any type of issues. As I pointed out before, do seek a service technician who's knowledgeable in it. That is the thing to do. Ahoy mateys! For more videos like this one, do subscribe. Until next time, later.